Alright, well, welcome to the song demonstration video for day 15. This is a little bit different scenario than normal, but the reason why we're going to do it this way, I mentioned, I think, in the lesson video, we're actually going to use one of my songs and that I recorded on an album in 2016. It's called I Want to Spend My Life With You. The reason for this is that most of our demonstration songs, I will not actually be playing the recording of the song on the video. That's another set of legal hoops that I don't want to have to jump through, and I don't want to risk getting in trouble or breaking anyone's copyright. But I own the rights, obviously, to my own music. This is a song that will be really easy to demonstrate our syncopated feel to, but more important, I'm going to be able to demonstrate the full song learning formula for you, where, you know, I put the lyric sheet with the chords the way that you'll find them when you Google other songs as a download, a PDF download on the lesson page. So if you don't have that, make sure you pull that up. That's right there where you just came from. And I also put an MP3 of the song so that you can play it, and I'm going to play it so you'll be able to hear the recording of the song playing along with this song learning demonstration, because I want you to see how you listen to the song and you establish the tempo from it, and you then also kind of play along with it just long enough to kind of figure out what the essential feel is. So I'm going to be able to do that with my song and show you the process, and then in the future I'm not actually going to do that with the more famous songs. You'll be able to go find the recording yourself and do the same thing and sort of connect the dots like we've been doing from what I'm doing to what you're hearing on the recording. But this was a way for me to get around the copyright issues and show you the process. But other than today, we're going to stick with very, very well-known famous songs. So if you will stay with me here for just a second, I'm going to change the camera angle and we're going to dig into this so you can see the full application of my 5-step song learning formula. So good stuff. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, well, as you can see, my laptop's kind of in frame here now, and the reason for that is, and this is not going to be a great listening experience for you for the song, having to go out my laptop speaker, which kind of sucks, and then into the camera mic, but you've got a decent quality of it in the MP3 that I gave you, so use that for your actual listening. But this will be adequate to show you how to use this process. So the first thing that we would do is we'd look up the chords, and I gave you a PDF sheet with the lyrics and the chords to this song, so that replaces that part of the process. So now you've got the chords and the lyrics. The second thing is you look up the song, and you'd find it on YouTube or whatever, and you've got an MP3 file, so that replaces that part of the process. The next thing that you want to do is you play this song, and I'm just going to push play on it, and you listen to it for a second. And the first thing I like to do is find out what the tempo is. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's the tempo. But you got to think about it, because it could be that, or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the nature of the song is it's kind of slow, it's kind of a ballad. It doesn't make sense that it'd be double time like that. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So why is that important? Well, once you know the tempo, then you can test out because you want to, at that point, establish what the basic feel is, or what the essential feel of the song is. So you know that if you're going to try out the basic feel, that 1, 2, 3, 4, that means your quarter notes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if it were, say, twice that tempo, that's why you check, then you'd be talking about going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that doesn't sound right at all. So that's why we established that the tempo is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what we do is that we look at the chords and we notice that the intro is C, F, C, F, just kind of doing C and F. So we try to play the chords along with that, and sometimes it's easier to wait until the words come in because then you have a frame of reference for where the chord changes are. And okay, so we just check it out and see how these feels work on there. So let's try it with the basic feel and see what happens. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I mean, I don't know, it feels like it's maybe a little choppy or something. It doesn't seem to be quite encapsulating the song, does it? It could be done. You could do it. I wandered through this world alone for so long. I thought that that's the way that it would always be. It could work, but something about that it's not quite right. Let's try the syncopated feel with it, which is the other rhythm pattern we've learned at this point, and see how that one works. Does that do a better job of capturing the song? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're finding a sweet spot here. A minor. Okay. So, from that, boy, between those two, which one sounds right? I wandered through this world alone for so long. I thought that that's the way that it would always be. Work all day and come home to a big empty apartment. Yeah, boy, to me, it just almost screams obvious. This needs the syncopated feel. That's your point of origin with this song. So it just works better. Now, but what this also shows you is it's not always going to just be one feel that could work. You could do something with this. Particularly if you started putting some variations in there and went do a little toggling. So, it's not like you couldn't play it, and you're going to find a lot of songs would work with both the basic feel and the syncopated feel, and you have to choose the one that feels best to you. Which one feels like it's getting that song's personality down better to you? And for me, the syncopated feel wins hands down. Especially with a little toggling in there in the right hand. Which, by the way, is the final step. Once you've decided what essential feel you're using, now you use improv techniques and variations to make it fun. And so, if you get that nice rock solid thing to go on with your left hand, we do a little toggling. the song really comes to life. So that's the song learning process, or the formula rather, is that first you find the chords, then you find the song, you listen to the song, and you run a couple of these, you run your feels through them until you find the one where you feel like you've hit the sweet spot, where you feel like you're really playing what is the truth, what really captures that song. And when you find that, then you go to work on, and what I like to do first is that if you're not already feeling fairly advanced with this, master playing the whole song just with the simplest version of the essential feel. So, for example, with the syncopated feel like this, the simple version of the rhythm pattern is just the George Washington one, right? So just play the whole song through without doing any variations, and just master it. Master the chord progression like this. When you feel like you can play the chord progression well without making a bunch of mistakes, doing it like this, well, then you give yourself the right to try a few things. And so at this point, the main thing that we've studied is toggling, but following the chords. So it's C, G over B, A minor, G, F, D minor, C over E, F, D minor, F, C. And that song comes to life so fast with just the very simple range of major and minor chords that we've already learned, plus that little trick where we know that when there's a fraction, a chord fraction, that you play the note to the right as your bass note and the chord on top of it with your right hand. With that, the basic major and minor chords that we've learned and these two essential feels that we've learned, you pick the one that fits it best. And then you run just some of that toggling, and this song just comes right up out of the piano and becomes sort of a living, breathing organism all in and of itself. And it amazes me. And the more familiar you are with all of your chords, and the more comfortable you are playing these just basic versions of the rhythm patterns. A lot of you are already writing me comments and private notes saying, okay, I learned, the basic version or the simple version of the essential feels, but these variations, I don't have the hand coordination down yet. Well, you just keep practicing them the simple way. The better you get at that, the more the variations will start happening almost with a life of their own, and you won't even be able to stop it, But these things all build on top of themselves. And so the more comfortable you get with the rhythm patterns and the chords, the faster this goes, because you're not starting from nothing. Every time that you sit down to learn a song, it's just telling you what chords to play, and you already know your chords. And you get to decide which rhythm pattern works best, and you already have, by the end of this course, you'll have 4 key rhythm patterns that will pretty much encapsulate the character of about any song that you want to play. And then we're also going to work on variations, particularly in week 4, for all of them. And so it's very, very quickly that these songs come together. And a lot of you are going to find, oh my gosh, depending on how complicated the song is and how difficult of the key signature it is, I'm going to be learning a lot of songs in a matter of 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 minutes tops, where I'll have a credible version of that sucker down, because you're not reinventing the wheel. These techniques do not fail you. And once you have the essentials down, you know, the chords and the simple versions of the rhythm patterns, pretty soon you'll find you're investing like none of your brain power in that stuff. That's just like autopilot. And all your brain power starts going towards, you know, what fun little flurries and embellishments could I try? And some of those will be things that specific techniques that I teach you, but a lot of them are just going to be fun things that you come up with on the fly, because you'll find you have a tremendous amount of creativity locked inside of you that wants to come out. And when you are no longer having to invest ridiculous amounts of your concentration and brain power on just the essential theoretical parts of playing the song, because that comes together so fast and so easy, oh my gosh, your creativity will come erupting out of you like a volcano. And that's when it gets fun, because all your thoughts are, what fun thing can I do with my right hand? Not, how do I play a C chord? So that's why it's worth it to really nail down your chords and to really master the simple version of these rhythm patterns, because the more that goes on autopilot, the more you're going to be playing along, and it won't be long before you're playing and you go. Might seem far-fetched to you, but honestly, there's not a single thing I'm doing in that is not built off of a component that we have not either already learned or that we're not going to teach by the end of this 4-week crash course. It's pretty simple stuff. And the main thing that a lot of you think, well, I need to know what was that lick you did or whatever. There's no way I could ever teach every lick that ever comes to me, just because a lot of that's so spontaneous. But what you're going to find is that the main reason most people aren't more creative that way is because they're spending way too much of their time just trying to, pound out the rudiments of what's going on. And because they don't know, they haven't studied the right stuff to be able to get that part of it, like I say, on autopilot. And when your brain is free to think about, what kind of flutters and flurries and improv things you can do based on the simple tenets that we're going to be studying, you'll be amazed at the stuff that you come up with on your own, let alone the specific techniques that I'm going to show you that you can use anytime you want. So it really gets fun and exciting. So just, listen to that song all the way through, follow the chords, beg your pardon, follow the chords, and just kind of work your way through it, and, try it with the basic rhythm pattern, with the basic feel rhythm pattern, and which is the one that goes. Try it with that, and then try it with the syncopated feel. Let your hands tell you which one feels right. But for me, the syncopated feel is what feels right for this song. And have a little fun. Once you get comfortable with the chords, have a little fun with the toggle technique. And then we're going to be taking all of this and applying it to famous, popular songs that you know in all the lessons to come. So really, really getting into some fun stuff here, guys. You've done great work, and I hope that this is showing you how quickly you can get into the fun part of playing the piano. It really doesn't have to take as long as people think. So I'll see you in tomorrow's lesson, and have fun with it, okay?